The HTML canvas is probably the most interesting element you can add to a web page. I think so, at least. I've used it to make art, animation, games, tools I use in research and teaching, and even real-time video effects like those things I've been posting recently. In this course, you'll learn the fundamentals. How to build a basic web page and where the canvas element fits in. How to draw shapes using a little bit of math, and how to code simple logic using JavaScript, one of the top programming languages in use today. And no, it's not Java. They sound similar, but they're really different. Then, after we learn some basic tools, we'll get creative and draw a snowman. I live in Finland. What did you expect? I'll then teach few more advanced things, like how to use text, images, sound, and animation to make the snowman interactive and follow the mouse like this. It will be able to blink and play a song when pressing a button on the keyboard. With the things you learn in this course, you can already make some really nice apps, and I'll be waiting to see what you create. Now get ready, first lecture's about to start. Gonna code, debug, and have fun. Coding with Radu, coding with Radu. Gonna prototype and design. Coding with Radu, coding with Radu. Let's code now. First, we need to get our tools in order. To code, we'll need an editor, and there are many options out there, but I'll be using this Visual Studio Code, and I recommend you do the same. So go get it from this link. And once you have it installed, it will look something like this. But I like to switch to a dark theme, like so. Dark themes are easier on the eyes. Now let's press this open folder right here and go to some place where you're gonna do the coding. I'm on the desktop right now, but I'm gonna make a new folder right here and I'm gonna call it canvas_1 because this is gonna be lecture 1. So create this folder and press select folder like this. Now Visual Studio Code shows it here like this, and I'm gonna be here from now on. Let's create our first file in this new folder. We press this button and call it index.html. It's gonna be an HTML file or a web page. And here I can close this get started and start to write our first code. We begin by typing doctype HTML to tell it what the type of the document is, and then inside the head tag we are going to write the title of our page. Let's just call it our web page, like this. Then we close the head tag and we close the HTML tag, like so. And this is already a working web page. We can view it if we go to the folder and double click it like this. I'm using Google Chrome to view this. And the title appears here in the tab, but the page is empty otherwise. So let's add some elements to it. We need to write here the body. And inside of the body, I'm gonna write a heading. There are many headings to choose from, and you can check them out on this website. But I'll use the H1 heading and write Radu's web page. And let's close the body as well. Visual Studio Code is gonna indent things for you sometimes. So let's save this file and refresh the page. And you can see now the title appearing there. We can add more things into our web page. For example, I can go here and type a paragraph, P, and inside it I can type anything I want, like hi everyone and welcome to a web page I created. Actually, this is not my real web page. You can find that one at https://www.radu.com. radufromfinland.com. Let's close this paragraph, save the file, refresh the page, and the text is appearing there. And you can notice that these line breaks that I'm adding here don't appear here really. Like there's a line break after web page, but here the text just continues normally. So what is this if this is not my web page? Well, let's type a new paragraph and say this page is just to teach you how to make a very simple web page with some text, a link, an image, a button, and a canvas. This course will be all about this canvas element, but you really need to understand a little bit of web pages just to get the overall view of things. So let's save this and refresh the page, and more text is appearing here. Now let me teach you how to make a link. We did the text already. So a link is something like this. It points to another web page, but you really want to be able to click something here and go to that web page, not just copy paste the text from there. So you use an anchor tag. I'm going to do that by going here and saying I remove at and I will type less than a. href is equal to apostrophe, this single quote. And then I put the name of the website inside and I close the quote. Then I'm going to also close this right angle bracket, and I don't need the stop anymore, but on the next line I'm just going to type here. And then I need to close this a tag, like so. If we save now and refresh, you see here, and if you press here, then this is going to go to my web page. Check it out later. I add there my favorite videos, and if you register, you can get source code and it will keep track of the games you play in one place. Now let's get back to our amazing page, and the next thing we need to do is add an image. Let me just take a selfie. And I'm gonna add the image here in the same directory. Visual Studio Code even shows it here like this. So to add this image to the web page, I'm gonna go here below the title and type img src for source is equal to quote me.jpg. This is the name of the image here, and closing the angle bracket. I don't need to close the image tag here because it doesn't contain anything like these other ones. So saving the file, refreshing the page, and shows my image here, but it's really, really big and pushes everything down like this. I really want to make it smaller. And I can do that by typing here a width of, say, 200 and the height of, let's try 200. Save the file, refresh the page, and it's smaller, but it doesn't look right. It looks squished because now it's made to be a square even though it had a wider aspect ratio. So to fix this, you can actually just input the height, for example. If we want this to have 200 pixels in height, then we only need to do that, and the width is going to change accordingly. And now there's no squishing involved. But I mentioned pixels. What is a pixel? It's actually a unit, same as a centimeter or an inch. But it's really, really small, so 200 of these make the height of the image. I'll show you using this microscope. If I point it at the screen like this, you can see how small the pixels are. Each one of them has 3 small lights, a red, green, and blue light. And when all of them are on, it appears white. Now, if I move up here where the black text is, you can see that actually those pixels are off. So that's why they look black. And 200 may seem like a large number, but when they're so small, they fit in quite nicely. Now, let me teach you how to do the button next. I'm gonna go here under the image and type button. And let's make it say click me and close the button tag. Save the file, refresh the page, and the button is not actually under the image, it's next to it. To put it under, we need to add a line break before the button, like this. Save, refresh, and great, we have the button there, but clicking it does nothing. To make it do something, we need to use another language called JavaScript. So I'm going to type here what JavaScript function to call when clicking the button. On click is equal to do something. And when we open these parentheses here, it means that we call a function called do something. But this function doesn't exist yet. We need to define it. I'm gonna go here below everything, but still inside the body, and type some JavaScript code. To do that, we need to open a script tag like this, and then function do something, and open curly brace. Now type here what you want the function to do. In this case, I just make it say hello. And close the script tag because we're done writing the JavaScript code. Now save the file, refresh the page, and when you press the button, you get an alert that says hello. But maybe we wanted to do something else. Like maybe we wanted to make this second paragraph blue when we click on the button. Let's see. I'm going to first need to identify this second paragraph and give it an ID. Let's call it P2 for second paragraph. And now I can remove this alert from here. And instead, I'm going to first access this P2 element by typing element is equal to document get element by ID P2 in quotes. And then I'm going to set the style of this element, its color, to blue, like this. I'm going to save the file, refresh the page, and it's not blue now, but if I press the button, it turns to a blue color. Now, speaking of style, we usually use another language for that. It's called CSS. And there are many things that you can do with CSS. For example, I'm gonna go here in the head after the title and type a style. And let's make the body have a white color. This usually goes for the text. And a background color of black. Like so. Close the style as well. Save the file, refresh the page, and now we have a dark mode. The button still works, it still changes this text to blue, but the other colors are flipped. So now we can see that web development is about 3 different languages. There is CSS for the styles, HTML, what we did here mostly for the structure of the page, and JavaScript for the functionality. There's a clear separation, and it's a good separation because in this way some people can become expert web designers while others can become web programmers. Now, speaking of separation, we can actually move these codes into different files as well. Like the JavaScript let's move this one to script.js. And I'm going to copy this code from here. I'm actually going to cut it and paste it right here. And another file will be style CSS. And I'm gonna go here and take this code, cut it, and paste it right here. Now, these files need to be saved as well. And here we need to link to those files. Otherwise, the HTML doesn't know where they are. So let's type here link. Relationship is style sheet. So this is going to be where the CSS is. And href is equal to style.css. Now, for the JavaScript, it's a little bit different. I'm going to keep here the beginning of this script tag and just type src for source is equal to script.js. And close the script tag. So now if you save this file and refresh the page, everything will look the same and work the same. But now the code is separated into different files. And this is great when developing in a team because now I can work on one file and you can work on your own. Now this course focuses on JavaScript programming. And we'll use it to draw things on the HTML canvas element, which I haven't even shown you yet. So let's go back to index.html, somewhere below the image right here, and define a canvas element. Canvas, and let's close it. Refresh the page, and something happened. This button is now lower, but that's because there is a canvas element right here. It's just transparent so we can't see it. But we could go in the CSS and give canvas elements a background color of white. And now you can see it. But maybe we wanted to have a different size. So I'm gonna go here and specify width equals to 200 and the height equals to 200, like this. Save the file, refresh the page, and now the canvas actually fits next to the image and it's a white square. Now this is the thing we'll learn about in this course. It's what I consider to be the most interesting element you can add to a web page, because you can use this to draw any shape. I can animate that shape by redrawing many times per second, and I can add interaction using the mouse. In this one, the hair even moves according to physics. And I can even make it talk. Ba 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 ba. I made this thing in just 2 days, but I'm a level 7 coder, and since you're watching this, you're probably not there just yet. So we'll make something a bit simpler, but they're not that different really. This one has just a bunch more math and physics added to it, but the coding techniques are really the same. See you guys.